If you own a current series DMAX like DMAX here, or a current BT50 or MUX, you'll know that the factory infotainment system leaves a lot to be desired. Now it does come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard, but if like myself you want to get wireless Android Auto working, you'll need an aftermarket dongle like this. But that means you lose your USB charger. So your partner or yourself, if you want to charge things in your car while you're driving, you just can't do it. So what do? And now I'm going to run through this little piece of kit. So my brother did the initial research and development on this, but I've 3D printed a housing which has got an RJ45 pass-through, as well as USB Type A and USB Type C power delivery. So these, I believe we went for a 36 watt or a 32 watt power output. But basically that means that you can charge while you're driving. You've got USB Type C, USB A, and you've got the pass-through for your UHF handheld. That's all one neat little unit, and that's going to replace the factory unit here. Now what we do with the wireless Android Auto is we connect that behind the dash, then this little dongle is going to stay hidden away, and we've got this nice, neat fascia for our new pass-throughs. Now it would be a bit hard to film with this camera and show you properly, so we're going to go for an FPV mode. To get started, so we can fit this unit, we've got to pull the cup holders out, pull this cover off, and then we should be able to reach up under here and get this out. So you can use pry bars with these, but you can also just give it a bit of a tug. They're just pop clips, so a bit of brute strength and they'll just pop right out. Now that is a heap of space. So UHF is going to go over here. We can run our wiring. There's just a huge cavity, and it's interesting as well because there's so much more depth available for the glove box, but Mazda and Isuzu and the Infinite Wisdom decided they didn't need to use that, so it gives us heaps of space to mount accessories. Now this is a bit more complicated, not hard by any means, and I'll show you how to get this off. So you pull this down, and there is a clip. There's a clip in here, so I've got that clip, and of course there we go, pops out. That's it. Simple clip. It's the same as the clips on your old like 40 series, 80 series, actually I don't know if 80 series, but your manual winders on your old cars, they've got these clips. It's exactly the same, so straightforward. That pops up, done, easy. Now move this out the way. Bit more brute strength if you reach under and just pop those clips again. Again, you can use trim removal tools if you want to be a bit more careful. I've got way too many years experience pulling cars apart in the four-drive industry and fitting aftermarket accessories, so I don't mind a bit of brute strength, but they're just really simple pop clips, nice and easy. Then we pull that carefully out the way. We've got this one plug here, which if you just reach under, you push that down, pulls out, easy. Now to get this out, we need to get a bit freaky with the glove box. So we're going to pull it out, and to do that you pop up the top left corner and then it just falls out. Piece of cake. To get this out, you pretty much have to reach through the glove box. Now if you watch, you can see it wiggling. So I've got it. So trim removal tool, something nice and thin, definitely recommend. Now if you reach in, there's a tag top and bottom which you have to depress, but as soon as you do have those depressed, and you'll feel them because they'll like lock down, but if you reach in with the trim removal tool and kind of massage it out, there you go, got him. So they're the tags I was talking about. And it seemed to be that just prying it over with that trim removal tool just kind of got it past where we need to go. That's it. So that's the old one, once we disconnect the wires. And that'll be the new one. Nothing else looks way sexier. Also, this wire is way overkill for what we actually need. When it goes to market, you'll just get 2 tails, and they'll be probably just a 3mm twin core, or yeah, just smaller than that. And it won't have a Deutsch plug, it'll just be tinned wire, and you can wire it up however you'd like. Now we're going to de-pin these. So remove these. Now it might. There we go. So that's USB. We're going to plug the dongle into this, and you could use a bit of heat shrink. Actually, I probably will use some heat shrink just to secure it together. And now I'll de-pin this one. So personally, I don't really care much for the aux jack because I've got the Android Auto. But you could run a cable into your glove box as well if you wanted to. Actually, you probably could split this and run it into there. Oh, might not be long enough. Anyway, doesn't matter, not important. USB is what we want, but this is just for the Android Auto. So this will get hidden behind the dash, and then we'll run a new power lead, which will be for this. And before we hook it all back up as well, we've got the RJ45, which will run to our UHF once we install it in there. So I just tested it off camera, plugged in, turned the car on, Android Auto still works, everything's all good. I was just worried I might have yanked this a bit hard. Anyway, but yeah, trim removal tool makes it a heap easier. So now we've got that nice cavity ready for our new plug. Now I'm going to grab the heat shrink and heat shrink this together. This isn't 100% necessary, but I would definitely recommend securing it somehow. And the heat shrink is going to just help hold it all together over the corrugations and whatnot to stop it vibrating loose. But as you can see, it's accessible from behind the glove box, so that'll make it nice and easy if anything does go wrong. So it's just a bit more secure, and we can tuck it away, cable tie it up so that it doesn't flop around and fall apart. Okay, so we skipped ahead a little bit. I've run this wiring up and we're ready to run it across to the fuse box. And I've run the pass-through cable up ready for our new pass-through and USB ports. Still got to cable tie everything, but I'm going to run this now. So we're going to run power from the UHF to the fuse box. And we're going to run power from the fuse box back for our new plug as well. So pretty straightforward. Pull this little drawer down and then you pop it out. Kind of just pull it up towards you. And then we've got all our fuses. Now I've already got a fuse in here for my wireless charger. And I'll just check. Basically anything with the ignition, you should get power when you've got keys on. Now we've also got that 3mm wire, and this is going to be our feed for our new USB ports. So now just be stripping the wire. That should be heaps. Now the outer circuit kit that I've got here, I believe it was Autobahn that I got it from. It's got the crimp, the blue crimp connectors. I'm not the biggest fan, but to be quite honest, it's getting late and we're going wheeling first thing in the morning, so this is getting the old crimp job. In a perfect world, I'd use some decent crimps or solder it. But I will probably come back and fix this another time because, yeah, as I said, we're a bit low on time. Something I have seen done, which is quite nice actually, is taking off this plastic, using the crimp itself, and then heat shrinking. Just looks a bit more professional. Crimping, do that work? Oh, yeah, cool. Tug test. Yeah, that's not coming loose. Excellent. Now I've got a ring terminal crimp for that. That one there. Then Now your first one in your outer fuse circuit, or the one closest to the pins I should say, that's what you're replacing, and then the top one is your wire out. There we go, 15. Now, chuck that in there. Dansky. Hook up the earth, and that is happy days. And for anyone playing at home, these are micro 2 blades fused outer fuse. Micro 2 blade fuse outer circuits. Some of the forums online say that these are just micro, but they're micro 2. So if you're shopping for your own ones, I'll quickly grab the ratchet, hook up the earth, and then we can tidy this wiring. And chuck that back in. Now, we've got our RJ45 pass-through. Click that into the back. And what we can do now is turn the ignition on. Oh, actually, I'll get the handpiece. Turn the ignition on and make sure it all works. Oh look, done. It works. So we've got the power button, turn it off, turn it on, it all works. And we've got, I don't know if you can see that, the blue light means we've got power for our USB ports. So that is all working. Sensational. Now to throw it all back together. I'll just quickly turn this off, unplug, turn the car off again. Now to fit this, it's just a matter of pushing it in and it will all lock in. Which way do I want to go? Probably go that way. So it is unidirectional, so you can fit it whichever orientation you prefer. And then, oh, that's it, done, plugged in. So it's just nice friction fit, same as the factory connection, factory housing. And now we've got that all sorted. Power back on, look, blue light, sensational. Oh, I'm so stoked about that, that's wicked. Very, very cool. Now I'm just going to buzz through, cable tie everything up, throw it all back together, and yeah, it's the same in reverse. Very boring, but glove box back in, center console back together, cup holders in, done.